You know, it's wild. I'm actually 6'2". I want to start this whole clip by letting people know that I am not short. People run into me all the time, Crystal, and they be like, "I thought you were taller. I'm sorry, I thought you were shorter." I'm like, "Why?" It's because your camera angle. I'm like, "All right, I got it." So I'm gonna work on this camera angle. But for those who are watching this in a live stream context, you know, you're gonna air whatever. Zach Nunn is not short. Relatively to the average man, right? And if you put me on the NBA court, of course I'm short. But I'm talking about you walking down the street. I think the average man is like 5'8.5". I'm significantly taller.
Yeah.
All right,
And you're tall.
I'm taller. I'm taller.
Hmm.
All right, listen. What a way to intro this trailer for We Ain't Dying for This, but we're here. Crystal Johnson, what's up?
Hey, Zach. I'm so excited to be here. There's a lot happening. We Ain't Dying for This has resonated with so many people since I launched in February, and I was terrified to launch this vodcast live on LinkedIn because I didn't know if people would resonate with it. And I've been saying we ain't dying for this for a long time as it pertains to a lot of things that go on in my life, whether it's work or whether it's just relationships with people, family. Like, you're not about to stress me out because I need to be able to prioritize myself first and put me in the driver's seat and make decisions that make me feel good rather than always raking myself over the coals for other people. So I'm just really excited to be several months down the line and just having had the opportunity to interview so many brilliant Black women.
You know, first of all, I love the sentiment of your show. We ain't dying for this. Because, you know, there's all these studies and papers and research on the muling of black women, right? The overworking and overtaxing of black women as a group. And then there's also, where where did I go? Oh, my, hold on. Yeah. What in the world? Crystal, can you see me?
I can.
Okay. I don't know what happened. I pressed the button. It's crazy. So I'm gonna edit that. It's all good. Or maybe I won't.
Okay.
Maybe we'll keep it raw. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't dying for this neither, Crystal. You know what I'm saying? I pressed the button. Things went crazy. I got lost, but I'm back now. So going back to what I was saying, you know, historically,
Mhm.
black women have been overworked, overtaxed, undersupported, undersponsored, and I just love the very direct sentiment of we ain't dying for this. But like, that's my interpretation as a straight black man benefiting from the patriarchy. When you came up with this title, we ain't dying for this. Like, what is that?
Yeah, so what I thought about first is that there are so many Black women who are dying. They are dying at young ages because they're weathering. We're experiencing microaggressions and racism and sexism, misogynoir all the time, daily. And we are weathering away. And I know that people always say, oh, Black don't crack. We might look good, but we are weathering inside. And I really wanted Black women to know that we have another choice, that you can experience liberation in the ways that make you feel good. Liberation doesn't have to be this or that. It doesn't have to be yes, you have it or no, you don't. But there are different ways that you might experience liberation in your daily life without being completely free. Because we often hear like nobody's free until we are all free. So it's a journey to become free. But there that doesn't mean that you aren't able to experience liberation in different ways. So it's been great to be able to feature Black women who share their stories about how it is that they're experiencing liberation, whether it's through self-love and self-healing, whether it's through how you might parent today, whether it's through figuring out your trauma and your stuff, and how is it that you move forward in your life where your trauma isn't continuing to impact you negatively.
So I love it.
Because we want to live.
I love that. And absolutely, absolutely we want y'all to live. We want to live. Life is important. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's interesting in this conversation. What I'm realizing is that the this is not just the world of 9 to 5 work. The this is like the work of life, right? So like
Yes.
you're not. I think so often we're positioned to live to die, but we ain't dying for this. It seems to be about living to live. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. Beautifully put, Zach.
You know, I try to do this for a living, Crystal. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? We rise together. Our success is shared. Listen, let's talk a little bit about We Ain't Dying for This and where people can learn more about it. Obviously, you know, you have this live show, and we'll talk a little bit about
Yes.
where folks can catch it outside of the live. But if people want to learn more about you and learn more about your vision and connect with you, work with you, where can people learn more about Crystal Johnson?
You can find me 9 times out of 10 where I hang out the most is on LinkedIn. You can also visit my website at designyoursoftlife.com. So on LinkedIn, I post about, obviously, we ain't dying for this. I talk about healing your trauma or just your healing journey overall. I share a lot about the things that I've experienced over the last several years and how I've gotten to this point of clarity where I know that my real work is to help Black women who are saving the world to save themselves first. Because we can't be there for other people if we aren't there for ourselves first.
Come on, come on, come on. You got to put the oxygen mask on yourself. Then you help little Timmy next to you. So, listen, I'm so excited about
Mhm.
We Ain't Dying for This. I love everything about the concept of this show. We Ain't Dying for This will be on Living Corporate. We're going to air this every Wednesday. And then you have the live stream on Thursday for the newest shows, right?
Yes, yes, that's correct. But also, don't just skip over the fact that it's going to be on the Living Corporate Network. Where's the sound effects? Boom, boom, boom. What are the horns?
The Jamaican air horns.
Exactly, exactly.
You know, it's interesting. One day we're gonna have a conversation. I've had a few folks from the Caribbean. I've asked them, I'm like, listen, is it culturally appropriate for me to use these air horns? And they said no. And I said, great, because you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna use them. All right. Then it's funny because I have not used sound effects as much as we have in past seasons, but we're gonna bring them back. I want everybody to give me a, you know what I mean? It's kind of fun. It's like you're like a little DJ, Crystal, you know, to do it in real time. But what I was doing before was we would have, you know, like when you hoop at church. So we had, you know, when people hit the keys, that you could kind of hoop a little bit. That was also fun. I'm gonna bring some stuff back, but you're right. Let's not.
I love it.
Thank you. Look, I don't want to glaze over the fact that yes, living corporate. The reason why I'm excited. I want to talk about why I'm excited, but then I want to hear your perspective. The reason why I'm excited about this being, and it truly, I would say it's a labor of love, right? It's work. It's work that I'm giving to you as you then help serve and help so many people. Is because one, we've wanted to work together for a long time at Redacted or through
Mhm.
Redacted. You know what I'm saying? Redacted tripping, to be honest. You can't even laugh that hard. Redacted tripping. And so I was like, you know what? Fine.
Yes.
As we wait and see what happens with Redacted, I don't really care because I'm trying to work with Crystal. So Crystal and I have been trying to figure this thing out for a while. I'm looking at what she's doing. I'm looking at this really organic community that she has, that she's building through a platform that don't really care about us. But, you know what I'm saying? That's another power for another day. I ain't really trying to create beef on this announcement trailer episode. But then I was also thinking about the fact that like, hey, like this needs to live and sit somewhere where it's going to be nurtured and cared for without people trying to do something to it or whatever. And also you want to have record of what you're doing outside of outside of systems you can't control. So that's why I'm excited about this. And also,
Yes.
We Ain't Dying for This. It does honor the spirit and mission of Living Corporate as an experiences management company because you're talking about lived people experiences in and outside of the context of work. You're talking about wellness. You're talking about health. And so, and you're talking about a marginalized identity group that does shape and move the entire world. And so for so many of those reasons and more, I was like, it's a no-brainer for you to come on over. And we have been talking about this. I feel like we've been talking about this since like 2020.
Yes.
So that's why I'm excited. Why are
Yes,
you excited?
you keep. I'm excited because I get to work with you. That's first and foremost. And like you said, we've been talking about this for a while. Like, when do you come to live in corporate? And it took me a while to get here because I was inconsistent in a lot of different ways. And when I felt like I had caught my stride and where I was in a place where, you know what, I'm really dedicated to this and I'm showing up every single week because this is important to me and it's really connected to my passion. And like I said, my mission of helping Black women save themselves. So I knew that this was the time to join Living Corporate. And I just think it's just such an opportunity to open up so many more resources to the Black women who listen to We Ain't Dying for This, because there's lots more content and resources that exist on the Living Corporate Network. And we just about to be a big community.
Man,
And I love it.
let me tell you something. I'm so excited about this show. I love the authenticity, the rawness, the candor, and frankly, just the space that you provide to your guests to be as honest as they feel comfortable being about the reality of living to live. You know what I'm saying? Crystal, I'm trying to figure
Yes.
out where else people need to know. We're going to put all the links in the show notes. People learn about you, learn about your work, designing your soft life, living corporate. We Ain't Dying for This podcast every Wednesday, live stream on LinkedIn every Thursday. You know what I'm saying? So living corporate is going to be like the repository replay because all of y'all don't be tuning into the live. You know what I'm saying? You got other things going on, and we respect that. We love that. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. However, you got to make sure you stay familiar, you get familiar, you keep familiar. So you got to make sure you check out the pod. All right. Crystal, is there anything else? Can we go?
I'm excited. Like, I don't, there's nothing else that I can say. I'm just excited for what this partnership is going to do for expanding the audience of We Ain't Dying for This, expanding the community of Living Corporate, and just the fact that Black women are going to start living, actually living instead of just surviving.
I love it. Crystal, y'all make sure y'all check out We Ain't Dying for This. Till next time, y'all. Peace.
Bye.